A very important principle and technology under cryptography is hashing. So hashing is a process that transforms data into a fixed size string of characters called a hash. You are living from any kind of data and you transform it to a hash. So what is hashing? It's an irreversible process. You cannot retrieve the original data with the hash. In comparison with encryption, you can decrypt and you can live from encryption to decryption and vice versa. But with hashing, it's not possible. Any change in the original data will result in a completely different hash value. For example, here I will enter a text as input and you will have the output right here. So if I say here, this is CyberMove, this is the hash here, this is the hash result. So this is the input and this is the hash result. And if I add a space, the hash completely changes. If I add any character, the hash completely changes. If I remove any character, the hash changes. And now with this output, you cannot leave from the output to go back to the original input. So if I copy this right here and I paste it here, you cannot get the original input. So that's hashing, and this is the hash. So why is hashing important? Hashing is important because it's used to store passwords. Instead of storing the actual passwords, systems store hashes. So that when you're logging into Facebook, when you're logging into Amazon.com or any website where you have your password stored, when you're entering your password, on their end, they don't receive the original password, but they receive the hash. So they can check and compare if what you enter corresponds to what they have in the system. For example, suppose your password is I love cyber security. Sorry. Suppose this is your password. This is what the hash will be. So whenever you enter your password on any of those websites, this is what they will have on their end. But no one can leave from this value to get back to this original value. So that's why hashing is a crucial technology on the internet. And that's why it's different from encryption. So hashing provides integrity. How can you be certain that a message that you receive has not been modified? That's because it's very almost impossible to retrieve the original information. Why? Because if I say, hi, good morning, today is a good day, hope you are doing well. If I send this message to someone, then, this is the corresponding hash that they should obtain. Now, if someone tries to alter this message and instead of the good morning says bad morning, for example, you see that the hash will be completely different. So the only way someone can know that I sent the right message and that it wasn't altered will be by verifying with the hash. So that's the technology of hashing. So with an illustration, let's see what it looks like. Here you have Samira. She creates an account on Facebook with the password, I love cybersec. So she creates a password, username, password with email and everything, and she enters her password. Now, what actually happens behind the scenes is that the I love cybersec will be transformed to the hashed version. So Facebook will not have the original password. They will only have the hashed version. And then she will be added to a list of users who have their hashed passwords in the database and not the original passwords. So the next time she connects to Facebook, Facebook will compare the hash and not the actual password. No one at Facebook will actually know what her password is. That's how hashing works. Now, to make hashing even more secure, because imagine if two people have the same password, they will have the same hash, right? So to make hashing even more secure, there is a technology called salting. What is salting? What is a salt? The salt is a unique value that can be added to a hash password to create a completely different and random hash value. So it's a unique value added to a hash password to create a unique, completely unique value. So what happens? You're making passwords even more random. And this adds security because it makes the password unpredictable. Like suppose, for example, that let me duplicate this. Suppose that my password is Boston 123. I don't know why my friend lives in Boston, and somebody else's password is Boston 123 at sign as well. So if you take a look, just take a look at the last three numbers, you will see that the hash is the same. So it's entirely the same. So what is salting? You will have my password and another person's password is the same. Now with salting, we add random characters. So for example, I will probably have something like this at the beginning, and then somebody else will probably have something like that in the beginning. So this is the salt. What you see here is a salt, and it's random so that now if you take a look, my password, the hash will be different. This person's password will be different as well. And that's the principle behind salting. So with salting, even if two people have the same password, the hash passwords will be completely different because the salt makes it unique. Just like when you cook, right? The amount of salt you sprinkle on the food is different from what another person will sprinkle on their food. So here, let's take an illustration with three users, the same thing that we did. You have Dara and Irma, they have the same password. Daphne has a completely different password. Now, when they're hashing their password, like when they're entering their password, for Dara and Irma, if you take note, the hash will be the same. Daphne's password obviously has a different hash. Now, when you do the salting and add random values to the password, Dara and Irma's passwords or the salted hashes will be completely different. So at the end, what's added on the database of the website you're trying to reach will be completely different for everyone for additional security. So salting is important. Thank you for your attention. And for more cybersecurity updates and training, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our different social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn for more updates and tips. Thank you.